Start with the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most grateful. Dear students of class first year, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome you in Pakistan International School Taif's virtual learning system. Dear students of class first year, hope you are doing great and you are working hard with your studies. As you know that it's a pandemic situation and that's why we have to work hard at home and definitely we have to prepare for our upcoming examinations. Dear students, today we have English lecture 22. This is grade first year and we are in unit 5. Today we have reading selection 5.2, the man who was a hospital. The man who was a hospital, Jerome K. Jerome is the writer of this essay, dear students. So this is reading selection 5.2. We have already completed 5.1 about the 5.1. The topic about the 5.1 is the be sorry fly away. Yesterday we completed fly away in the last lecture. So today we have 5.2, the man who was a hospital. Please open your page number 117 and this lesson will continue to 123. And here's your teacher, Sarfraz Nadeem. So dear students, let's start the reading selection 5.2, the man who was a hospital. Pre-reading, dear students, we have pre-reading about the lesson, the man who was hospital. How could a man be a hospital? Dear students, is it possible for a man to be a hospital? What do you say? Use your imagination to find the answer. Read the extract to check your answer. Means how is it possible for a man to be a hospital? Let's see in our lesson what is the Jerome telling us about. Reading selection 5.2, the man who was a hospital. Jerome K. Jerome is the writer. It was my liver that was out of order. I knew it was my liver that was out of order because I had just been reading a patient liver pill circular in which were details of the various symptoms by which a man could tell when his liver was out of order. I had them all. It is a most extraordinary thing, but I never read a patient medicine advertisement without being impelled to the conclusion that I am suffering from the particular disease therein dealt with in its most virulent form. The diagnosis seems in very case to correspond exactly with all the sensations that I have ever felt. Now, dear students, in both first and second paragraph, seems the author of the essay has a skeptical nature. He is very much careful about his health. And once he was reading an advertisement of a patient liver pill, he thought that his liver was out of order. So let's what's more in the rest of the paragraphs. I remember going to the British Museum one day to read up the treatment for some slight ailment of which I had a touch, hay fever. I fancy it was. I got down the book and read all I came to read, and then in an unthinking movement, I idly turned the leaves and began to indolently study disease. Generally, I forget which was the first distemper I plunged into, some fearful, devastating scourge. scourge. I know And before I had glanced half down the list of premonitory symptoms, it was borne in upon me that I had fairly got it. Now, here, dear students, in this paragraph, it is observed that the writer, he also felt the same signs of diseases as were given in the advertisement. Once he got a slight touch disease to increase his medical knowledge. So after reading that different diseases and their signs, he got worried. Slowly, as he was just reading more pages, he was thinking that all the diseases are with him. Let's see. We are on page number 118, dear students. I sat for a while, frozen with horror, and then in the listlessness of despair, I again turned over the pages. I came to typhoid fever, read the symptoms, discovered that I had typhoid fever, must have had it for months without knowing, expected that I had that too. Began to get interested in my case and determined to sift it to the bottom, and so started alphabetically, read up again, and learned that I was sickening for it, and that the acute stage would commence in about another fortnight. Bride's disease, I was relieved to find I had only in a modified form, and so far as I that was concerned, I might live for years. Cholera I had with cholera I had with severe complications and diphtheria. I seem to have been born with. I plodded conscientiously through the 26 letters, and the only malady I could conclude I had not got was housemaid's knee. Now, dear students, in this paragraph, the writer is telling that when he started to read that book, which was about the symptoms of the diseases, he started to read and he thought that I have the disease of, like in this, say that liver, liver disease, and then he thought that he had a typhoid and then diphtheria, means he is, and cholera as well. He was starting reading more pages, or he was studying more symptoms of the diseases. He was thinking that all the diseases are with him. I felt rather hurt about this at first. It seemed somehow to be a sort of slight. Why hadn't I got housemaid's knee? Why this invidious reservation? After a while, however, less grasping feeling prevailed. I reflected that I had every other known malady in the pharmacology, and I grew less selfish and determined to do without housemaid's knee. Gout, in its most malignant stage, it would appear had seized me without my being aware of it, and zymosis I had evidently been suffering with from boyhood. There were no more diseases after zymosis, so I concluded there was nothing else the matter with me. Dear students, in this paragraph, the writer is telling that he was worried about it, the why I don't have housemaid's knee disease. The rest of the diseases all are, but why this not? He was even thinking about that, and then he thought that all the diseases are here. All after reading about different diseases and their signs, he got worried. He thought that he was suffering from almost every disease because he felt the symptoms of those diseases. For example, he had hay fever, typhoid, which he must have had for months without knowing. So, like this, he was telling to one. And I sat and pondered. I thought, what an interesting case it must be from a medical point of view. With an accusation I should be to at law, students would have no need to walk to the hospital if they had me. I was hospital in myself. All they need to do would be to walk around me and after that take their diploma. Now this is very interesting, students, that he thought that the students who are just practicing are getting their degrees or diplomas by going in the different hospitals to analyze the patients or their diseases. So they shouldn't go there because all the diseases are with me, all are in me, and I am a hospital myself. So the all students will get me, they will get their diploma. All they need to do would be to walk around me, and after that, they take their diploma. Then I wondered how long I had to live. I tried examine myself. I felt my pulse. I could not at first find any pulse at all. Then all of a sudden it seemed to start off. I pulled out my watch and timed it. I made it 147 to the minute. I tried to feel my heart. I could not feel my heart. It had stopped beating. I have since been induced to come to the opinion that it must have been there all the time. It must have been beating, but I cannot count for it. I patted myself all over my front from what I call my vest up to my head, and I want a bit round each side and a little way up the back, but I could not feel or hear anything. I tried to look at my tongue. I stuck it out as far as ever it would go, and I shut one eye and tried to examine it with the other. I could only see the tip, and the only thing that I could gain from that was a feel more certain than before that I had scarlet fever. Thus, he thought that he concluded that he was a hospital in himself, and he even tried to check the pulse and about heartbeat as well, and he tried to shut his one eye, and he was trying to see his tongue, only a tip he can. So this was all about that the person when he went to the museum to read a book about the symptoms of different diseases, he thought that all are in me. Dear students, we are on page number 119. I had walked into the reading room, a happy, healthy man. I crawled out a desperate wreck. I went to my medical man. He is an old chum of mine and feels my pulse and looks at my tongue and talks about the weather, all for nothing. When I fancy I am ill, so I thought I would do him a good turn by going to him now. What a doctor wants, I said, is practice. He shall have me. He will get more practice out of me than out of 1700s of his ordinary commonplace patients with only one or two diseases each. So I went straight up and saw him, and he said, well, what's the matter with you? Now, dear students, after this, he went to his friend, a medical man, a doctor. He went to because he was friend. He thought that it is good for my friend or for my doctor to have me instead of he is just checking the other more patients with different diseases. A person who a common patient will come with a one or two diseases, but I am the person with all the diseases. So it's I think it's a good look because the doctor wants practice. So that's why. He was there to examine himself or examined by the doctor. Well, what's the matter with you? The doctor asked. I said, I will not take up your time, dear boy, with telling you what the matter is with me. Life is brief and you might pass away before I had finished. But I will tell you what is not the matter with me. I have not got housemates knee. Why I have not got housemates knee, I cannot tell you. But the fact remains that I have not got it. Everything else, however, I have got. Now, when these students, the doctor asks from, what's the wrong with you? What's the matter with you? He said, if I will not take up your time, but dear boy, with telling you what the matter is. He said, it will take a lot of time. Life is brief and you might pass away before I had finished. He told to the doctor that if I will start to tell you what's the matter with me, might you will die, time will finish, but the the way the things are the which I am just telling you, it will not finish. But one thing I will tell you that I don't have housemaid knee. Why I don't know. And I told him how I came to discover it all. And even he told him that how he got to know about these diseases. Then he opened me and looked down me and clutched the hold of my wrist. And then he hit me over the chest when I wasn't expecting it, a cowardly thing to do, I call it, and immediately afterwards butted me with the side of his head. After that, he sat down and wrote out a prescription and folded it up and gave it to me. And I put it in my pocket and went out. I did not open it. I took it to the nearest chemist and handed it in. The man read it and then handed it back. He said he didn't keep it. I said, you are a chemist. He said, I am a chemist. If I were a cooperative stores and family hotel combined, I might be able to oblige you. Being only a chemist hampers me. I read the prescription. It ran 1 lb beef stick every 6 hours, 10-mile walk every morning, bed at 11 sharp every night, and don't stuff your head with things you don't understand. This was all, dear students, written in the prescription, that don't stuff your head with things you don't understand. These were the words which were written by the doctor. I followed the directions with the happy result, speaking for myself, that my life was preserved and is still going on. Now, dear students, in this then he thought, he concluded that he was a hospital himself. He went to his doctor for his medical checkup. Checked up. The doctor gave him the following prescription: 1 lb beef stick every 6 hours, a 10 miles walk every morning, bed at 11 sharp every night, and don't stuff your head with the things you don't understand. After that, the writer went to the chemist and gave him the prescription. After reading the prescription, the chemist returned it to the writer, saying that he was not running a cooperative store and a family hotel combined, as it contained some instructions and not medicines. So, dear students, this was all about today's lesson. We have about the introduction about the author. Jerome, born in 1859 and died in 1927, a British novelist and playwright, is the famous author of the humorous masterpiece Three Men in a Boat. His work is known for a blend of humor and sentiment. So this is all the lessons. Hope so you understood. If you have any query, problem, any question, you can ask me on Zoom. Now here few new vocabulary words are given and their meanings as well. And even it is told over here in these words that this word is noun or verb or an adjective. Here we have page number 121, dear students. You can see few words even and then study questions. The man who was hospital, we have study questions. And the question number one is, how did Jerome come to suspect that he had a bad liver? So how many students can answer this question, dear students? Jerome came to suspect that he had a bad liver when he read a circular of the patient of a liver pill. Various symptoms of liver disease were written in the circular. After reading the symptoms of bad liver in the circular, he came to feel that all the symptoms of this disease were present in him. Question number two, the author says, I had walked into that reading room a happy, healthy man. I called it a disrupt wreck. Why? Now, this is the writer said that he had walked into that room a happy, healthy man and walked out a disrupt wreck. In the room, he read a book on various diseases. After reading the book, he found that all the diseases mentioned in that book were present in him. Therefore, when he left the room, he suspected that he was suffering from so many diseases. Because of this, he could not walk properly, which showed that he was an ailing, a weak, and frail old man. So, dear students, these questions, we have more questions as well. Dear students, we have interpreting and extending language study as well. So, we will just look over here on language study. A conjunction is a word that connects other words or groups of words. And the sentence, Sarah and Myra are friends. The conjunction and connects two nouns and in the sentence. He will drive or fly. The conjunction or connects two verbs in the sentence. It is early, but we can go the conjunction but connects two group of words. Now, dear students, you are well aware about the conjunction. We know that conjunction is a word which join two words, phrases, and sentences. So there are two kinds of the conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions are conjunctions which connect to two equal parts of a sentence. The most common ones are and, or, but, and so, which are used in the following ways. Look over, and is used to join or aid words together in the sentence. They ate and drank. And what about or? Or is used to show choice or possibilities, as in the sentence, he will be here on Monday or Tuesday. Now here two words are joined. But is used to show opposite or conflicting ideas, as in the sentence, she is small but strong. So is used to show result, as in the sentence, I was tired, so I went to sleep. The seven coordinating conjunctions are short, simple words. They have only two or three letters. There is an easy way to remember them, their initials spell, like fan boys, fan F for A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, and Y for yet, and S for so. Second topic kind is subordinating conjunction. First was coordinating conjunctions, and second, subordinating conjunctions. Subordinate conjunctions connect two parts of a sentence that are not equal. It will be discussed more in another class. For now, you should know some of the more common subordinating conjunctions, such as after, before, unless, although, if, until, as, since, when, because, then, and while. And the third is correlative conjunctions or pairs conjunction. They are called pairing conjunction, means they have two words. They work together in the sentence. Both Farid and Javed are good swimmers. Both and are correlative conjunctions. Both Farid and. Now both and is used over here. The most common correlative conjunctions are both and, either or, neither nor, not only and but also. So these are the dear student about the conjunction. Simply, the conjunction is a word which joins two sentences, words, phrases, and it has mainly two, but you can see three types as well: coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions. So these are the conjunctions which joins sentences and words as well. Now, dear students, on page number 123, we have an exercise. You can see same on your book. Fill in the blanks with appropriate coordinating conjunction. Now, first we have tickets for the symphony dash opera. So here, dear students, what will be? And we have tickets for the symphony and opera. And second, third, we have total A, B, C, D, E to F. Like his father dash, his mother can speak English. What will be here? So F, sorry, what will be F? His father as well as his mother. Okay. And second exercise, fill in the blanks with appropriate subordinating conjunctions. Number A, we are going out to eat dash. We finish taking the test. So here will be in A, what will be, dear students? Yes, after. We are going out to eat after we finish taking the test. So then another we have given number 11, fill in the blanks with appropriate correlative conjunctions. Like dash, my sister, dash, my brother play the piano. So how will you answer this, dear students? Who will help me to solve this? Yes, dash, my sister, dash, my brother play the piano. So both my sister and my brother play the piano. This is very easy for you. Okay, fill in the blanks. Both my sister and my brother play. Number tonight's program is Dash, Mozart, and Beethoven. So, dear students, Beethoven. So this is the all about today's lecture in on 123. I tried my level best to make you understand about the lesson, the man who was a hospital, and also about the conjunctions. There are how many kinds and the exercise. This is your homework assignment, dear students. If you have any query, any problem, you can ask me on Zoom questionnaire session, and I'm available. And if you have any question, query, you can ask till date, dear students. And Allah Hafiz.